All right. So to those who have joined, despite bra gear, I just broke my glasses.
Oh, really? Actually, I'm not wearing
Yeah.
mine, so thank you for reminding me.
No, it's okay. They just snap the nose thing off it. That's fine. So, despite bra gear, we weren't actually intending to open this just yet because we were going to quickly go and
Review.
talk about the points real quick so I stay on topic and then so we don't go multiple hours over. We're intending for this to take 2 hours. So we're going to read through all the points and like briefly talk about each one and what we've done to address it and the progress on that addressment. So not completed, with an ongoing kind of acknowledgement that this is a work in progress, obviously, and, there's going to be reviewing all those sort of things. And then if we don't reach the 2-hour mark, we're going to allow for like 30 minutes at the end for questions. So if we don't feel that we've addressed everything, we'll go for the end and see if there's anything additional that we can address at the end. One of the things that we have recently been discussing that we haven't implemented yet, and I'm not too sure if it's mentioned in any of the points, we are potentially looking at doing the mayor voting thing back in again, which hopefully we can then keep on track of doing.
I forget to add that into the points.
Yeah, that's okay. I just kind of briefly saw that it wasn't in the list and I was just like, meh, that's fine. MJP, this is the wrong sheet that I wanted. Oh, I've clicked the wrong link. We're good. So yes, so there's Ara's saying that she'll be here. It's right now.
Yes.
Okay,
she
anyway.
might be in chat and we haven't seen her.
That's fine. I've lost your thread. Where did you tag me?
In the thread.
Yeah, I've lost. Oh, there. Okay, anyway, back to that. So, what was I saying? The mayor thing, hopefully we'll be doing a more up-to-date and ongoing... MJP, can you just tag me to which one? Because I just clicked one and it says that it's unauthorized. I don't know what's going on.
What are you trying to...
And I don't deal with distractions very well. Anyway, the mayor thing, they're going to help us host the more regular town hall threads to actually stay on top of this and give them an opportunity to kind of represent the people's interests as well. So we'll go through the requirements and actual, how you could potentially become mayor and then what they're allowed to do so that there's a realistic expectation about going into it. Because we don't obviously want someone to, put their hand up for mayor and then, get voted in and then have no power. So we're going to outline what they would actually be able to do beforehand so that people aren't then disappointed by that. Cool.
Well, you want the website, the website thing I made.
No, I want like the one where we talked about the it's just I see it.
Yeah, I'm like, and you just scroll up.
I was like, I thought it was a document, so I got really confused as to where you're pinging me, and I was like, there's a channel here. Like, I thought this was just anyway. All right.
Doesn't matter.
Let's just go ahead and open it. Araba is not here, so we'll just go ahead and she'll turn up eventually.
Hopefully.
All right. How do we actually start the stage?
Yeah.
Pick a topic. All right. Cool.
Oh yes. There you go.
Recent feedback. I don't want to at everyone.
No, does it tell you have to?
Yeah, no, I can just start the stage. That's fine. We're good.
Okay. They'll see it pop up as an event thing.
Yeah. All right. Also, as well, for people's, I guess, understanding, the police are currently doing a massive event, so they're just probably not going to be here or just won't be participating as much. So if anyone who has a friend in COP that has a specific point that they would like to bring up when we get to the questions at the end, please do on their behalf. But yeah, Ford here has also offered to hopefully record the full thing for those people that can't attend. So that'll hopefully be helpful. All right.
Where is that thing I made?
Okay, so I've seen a flaw in this problem
so
because
there.
it's in the Discord, so I can't then watch the thread.
Oh, take a screenshot.
I'm just going to copy and paste it into this document because I can't.
Oh, that
I can't
works.
deal with multiple things at once.
You have more than one screen.
Cool. Yeah, but no, I can't open two Discords.
Oh,
Yeah, you see my
that's
problem?
Mm.
Oh,
Definitely a problem.
thank you, Dark Unicorn. So we could actually potentially add an AI thing in here. Does anyone know how to do that? So that like a transcribe thing, so that people don't have to have an audio file.
You mean my thing? Hang on, let me add it in. This thing's terrifying.
Yeah, because I think we'll have like two options of a recording for people that want to hear an audible thing. Oh, hello, Arabella. And then also to have the written version if possible.
Let me add the permissions in.
Okay. So Arawood is saying that the hopefully recording will work as well as potentially an AI bot thing to transcribe it for us as well. Here's the document. And we're just down the bottom.
New channel.
Okay, cool. All right, can we start, or do we need to still get this?
1 second.
You're okay.
Nightbot is thinking. Oh, okay, maybe. Notespot is broken.
That's okay.
Well, we got recording. That will do.
I can always do a TLDR at the end as well because we have the notes, so we can just kind of go over it from there.
Oh, that's true. I can create that through the notes.
All right. So we've now opened the thing. Do we start now, or do you guys want us to wait for a little bit more? Because 24 is obviously not a lot.
I'm happy if everyone knew the time.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. If it's recorded and we got the transcribe, then to be fair, they don't actually have to attend at the time, so it's fine. All right. So welcome everyone. We are doing a collated information based on the recent feedback thread that went out in the announcements channel. Went through, looked at all of the topics that were brought up and ways that we can address this in a realistic expectation of the time. So ways that we can go, okay, cool, we've started work on this, here is the progress update sort of thing. So we'll go through these individual points. So with the topic of community atmosphere and player experience, the specific kind of subtext to that is the sense of safety, welcome, and inclusion of the server community. So we've recently reviewed the pathway within the staff team, as well as introduced a lot more of the Centrelink support members, which we also need to change their name. So we've started the process on that as the ground floor of welcoming in new players and creating that kind of sense of a safe and welcoming atmosphere. So we've started working on things like the introduction of what a player initially experiences when they join the server, what that's like for them, where we could go, hey, here's a tutorial on how to do this job, just in case no one is actually like there to explain it to you, or, you know, go to this location here because this could be helpful for you. We've also done like the little kind of tutorials, which you can see on the left-hand side up at the top, tutorials for new players, which the team has been absolutely amazing at smashing out for us. And that's, you know, if you go have a little look in there, it's the basic commonly found issues that new players are kind of experiencing. So our intention here is to hopefully reduce the frustration of being a new person to this game or to this server specifically. Potentially, yes, self-destruct. I actually have a document on that. I'll add it later. But yes, it's to help the new players and hopefully feeling more comfortable and that ease of kind of transition into our server. So the Centrelink support have already been doing an amazing job. They've actually started doing all these brainstorming ideas around other ways that we can make it more fluid to join the server, be part of the community. Absolute killing it, those guys. That's great. Part of the topic here, I guess, as well, is also looking at the reviewing the actual staff team itself, which I mentioned in the previous meeting that we held last week. I think it was a Friday or Saturday, I can't remember. The one that went till 2 a.m. That one, we mentioned that we've been reviewing the staff team with an actual like performance review basis, not just going, hey, you're inactive. Going through and going like, what are they actually achieving? Are they talking to people? Are they answering tickets? Are they like, doing staff actions in the city? All those sort of things. So we've been going through that whole process, and we've already removed some people from the staff team that initially we've just kind of gone, okay, this person might need to just be a bit reevaluated. So we've already started that process. This is not a completed process. It is something that we're still going to be looking at ongoing. I do understand that a lot of people also have sometimes a bad relationship with a certain staff member. So they go, oh, I don't like that guy. But at the same time, we are actually looking at based on their performance basis. If it's a complaint-based process, we go through the other system. So we addressed that previously as well. So that's that topic. The impact of toxic behavior and clicks in player retention. So we're considering to write up a document on the expectation for staff members for out-facing situations and behavior and expectations around this as a requirement. So I know that there's previously been the concern raised and feedback around that sort of thing as well. So we are going to be reviewing that whole process and kind of setting a standard there. So we're also looking at expanding on the rules to cover the current issues. Oh, sorry, it started at 8. Was it meant to start at 8:30? Did we say 8:30?
Yeah.
Yep, did we?
Did we? That's okay. We have a recording and both written and verbal. So blame Bragi. Anyway.
Blame Bragi. It's Bragi's fault.
Blame Bragi. So Bragi. Anyway, so we have a recording and the written version that's going to be transcribed as well. So if you have missed anything, don't stress. It's okay. There is more. And we can also kind of go back to questions later on as well. So yes, we want to expand on the rules. Obviously, with a server that is quite old, being ongoing 7 years, we need to check in with the community and see if these are still relevant. We did like a slight review of them 2 years back, I think. But, and we're not looking at changing anything drastically, but it's more so just making it easier to understand language so that people can feel that there is a set consistency, because that's been part of the feedback as well. So that's going to be one of the things that we kind of go over as well. When it comes to activities, jobs, and events, we, again, part of the Centrelink support thing, there's been some discussion and around some of the local businesses as well to set up tutorials on how to actually do a job if needed. So, for example, if there's you need like a tutorial on how to get the job, do the job sort of thing, like TBT, for example, they have already made us like a little cheat sheet on what it is to be a RACV driver, how to get the job, how to, do like a uniform, all those sort of things, and then where to actually go for jobs, those sort of things. So we do need to address the common jobs that you can find at the job center and potentially just remove the broken ones and then come back to adding in the other ones. We were kind of discussing making a little cheat sheet at the job center where you can kind of talk to someone and they give you a bit of an instruction basis around which job is which, how to roughly kind of do them. So it still gives that that option to go and find the information and learn it, but at the same time to not be spoon-fed the information, but to not be left in the dark as well. So we're trying to find that balance at the moment with the current team of players to get their better feedback on that sort of thing. We are also kind of taking on some of the town hall feedback around some of the other jobs that we've previously experienced, like, CHOP, for example. A lot of people are begging for that to be returned to the previous system and just those sort of things. So we're actively still reading the town hall threads. Like, they're not being ignored because we've now got this feedback form. But in saying that, the feedback form will be ongoing, like left open, so that hopefully we can have a continued basis of feedback that we can then collate and then make a town hall thread on. Arabella and I, we said potentially, what was it, 3 monthly, Ara?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're hoping for a more regular basis. And to be fair as well, if we do the whole mayor system, we're thinking potentially a term of 3 months, or that's still to be decided thing. But that could be an interesting way of they get to hold a little town hall thread or something like that. So that is just a potential option as well, just so we can help to address some of those concerns on a more regular basis. But yes, we do understand that there isn't necessarily satisfaction with some of the civilian-based jobs, so we would like to look at and review some of these options around this. Sorry, my dog is being very needy. Yes. And then under that topic, we also have the new tutorials based for things which I've already covered. Add systems for the brand new players in the server to reduce confusion, which again I've covered. And we're also going to try to move away from the model. Sorry?
Connect each other. So I was going to say there's a lot of points that people
they
brought
do.
up.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlapping kind of concept, which if I've already covered, I'll just kind of go over it again briefly. But we're trying to move away from the model of players just telling everyone, go find out an IP, because it's not always actually helpful. It's actually a little bit trolly. So if it's something like, like, oh, who has this blueprint? 100% go find out an IP. Like, don't be a little snitch. But if it's something like, hey, where do I get a phone? It's like, oh, it's just any of, like, you can try some of the, convenience stores. They're not at every single one. So you got to, like, go try a couple, sort of thing. Or go try, like, the tech stores, try around this area. That's actually helpful information rather than just saying, find out an RP. So we're trying to give a direction on what is actually relevant information for a new player. Don't just say find out an IP to them. Help them. If it's something that you feel is reasonable for a new player to be asking and that would actually benefit them, 100%. We are trying to actually, like, be supportive as a community. So we should be telling them, hey, this is a general idea, like a little bit of a hint. So you don't need to tell them straight away, like, oh, it's TBT is at this postcode. It's like, if you have a look on the map, you might see a little mechanic item icon. It's on the right side in that general direction. Maybe go have a little look at it. To open your map is M, generally speaking. Otherwise, check your keybinds. It's one of those things that it will be really helpful for a new person to have that kind of guidance. And look, they might even think back and go, hey, I know that person. That guy was really helpful to me back when I was a Danny. And then they'll freaking love you forever. So that's really, really helpful in that sort of way. But if it's something that's actually just like, something that is actually just information that they do not need, of just going like, oh, who's the best person to sell, steel to or whatever. You just be like, nope, go make some contacts. You don't need us to tell you that, or, who has this blueprint, or, who's in, like, police leadership or whatever. I want to eye back them. It's like, yeah, you can put your eye back in through this way, but don't tell them who it is, because it's like, that's just ridiculous. There's a level of what is actually helpful information versus like just straight up metagaming information for them. You know, there is a difference. Be helpful, don't, and you can also don't tell them like, you know, full information if you don't need to. But at the same time, you are trying to aid them in their start to the server, not just like straight up like, you know, here is all the information you'll ever need. Goodbye, sort of thing. Just I think most people here should have the common knowledge enough to be able to give or you know, assess a situation, go, hey, this is an appropriate level of information that I'm giving. I am being helpful, you know. Anyway, that's probably that one. So yeah, we're looking at the new tutorials, all those sort of things. If anyone has any specific suggestions, please tell us. We are more than happy, and the Centrelink support people are more than happy to, you know, add in the extra information. We're going to be looking at doing one for each of the jobs. And if any jobs are like, you know, not working, we'll turn them off, or potentially look at, you know, reevaluating them or editing them if we possibly can, but most of them are, you know, locked. But we also want to, you know, yeah, so the jobs, and then just also general things like how to use a phone, like, you know, because like this, the button sometimes is confusing. So that's all something that we're going to be looking at. So we're going to have the next topic is frequency, engagement, diversity of server events, the call for more non-combat and RP based events. So server events have been revitalized for new members. We've just recently supported that team of people who actually want to run their own events rather than just the staff purely hosting them, but people actually are asking to have that support to go and run their events. So I have seen like a couple of comments where it's just like, why does it feel like staff are pushing it back on the community? A lot of people are asking for this. They are specifically saying, you know, we want to be able to run these events. We want to run this our own storyline. We're very creative people. Like, you know, I want to do this. Can I do this? It's like, yeah, of course you can do that. We'll help you. What do you need from us? You know, like all those sort of things. We are like wanting to, you know, help people to live their best life and all those sort of things. The events EOI is still open. They are still readily accepting people. So yes, that is, go ahead. So yes, responsible for approving events. There is about 3 people that are currently reviewing it. They are, well, there's one cat member. I think there's 2 cat members in that team, but like there's the events team themselves. It goes to a discussion board of, you know, can we have this person in here sort of thing, and they're usually just like, thank you for doing the linky thing. But yeah, that is still actively happening. They invited 13 people when we initially raised the EOI thread, and I think they've been hosting events most nights since, which we're doing an absolute killer job. So thank you, little events team. Very, very proud of you. So yes, if we can call back to the more non-combat RP focused events as well, it would be very, very helpful for people who have previously felt a little bit kind of like, only shooting events, blah, blah, blah. Like we had an amazing suggestion the other day of literally just like, you know, a melee event, which I thought was very, very funny. Like, you know, and I think the understanding that should be not every event is going to suit everyone. And that's why we need the variety so that people can actually like, you know, all have fun. And, you know, one event might suit a certain type of person and another event, you know, might not. So don't yuck someone's yum. Just, you know, if you want to attend that event, go have fun. If not, let them be, you know. So hopefully if we have more events, people can have the variety there and then they can actually have some fun around that. So that's been really good. We're going to be adding the event assistance from staff requirement document as well, so that we're not having anything go like, you know, too out of the ordinary, and also staff can know how to best help that group and all those sort of things. Which is just more general, trying to set parameters around things so we have a consistent basis. So then, you know, there's like all those sort of things. Staff moderation feedback. So I previously raised this, that we're doing the regular performance reviews for the staff team and the devs are doing their reviews for the dev team. as I previously mentioned, staff and dev are two separate teams, but at the same time, we both will be looking at this as an opportunity of feedback of doing the reviews. We previously removed, was it 9?
Yes.
I don't even remember. I think it was 9 cat members.
9? Okay.
Well, technically 1 is a an honorary position, so 9. But she will keep it. So we're going to be doing that as an ongoing process. This is not finished. I did give an indication when we talked about this in the town hall thread before it got locked, which I stand by that locking. I'm not unlocking that one. But we did go over that this will probably be a potential month-long thing for the initial setup. We have just kind of done the initial portion in the first week, but it's one of those things of going, okay, here is an initial tidy up and review, and then we do the further in-depth ones and those sort of things. So community assistance team members have obviously a different expectation, and so do Centrelink support. So there is like no real metric of essentially consistently being able to review someone's progress, because sometimes all those sort of things kind of don't get translated into statistics as well, like as effectively as the moderators do, for example. So their basis is a little bit different to how we look at moderators and admins and those sort of things. We will just be doing this as an ongoing process. So when also Zenish, just addressing your point, so specific metrics is, wait, what are the metrics?
You need the dashboard link.
No, he was asking for the metric thing. So when we have the like the staff complaint section, this feedback will be provided to that moderator or to that cat member or that admin, and we would be able to go, all right, this is what's happened. What's your POV? What's this resolution from here? Do we use this as a teachable moment? All those sort of things. So that's just a part of an ongoing process. We do also need to be looking at stuff like, how much are they interacting with the community? Are they answering questions? Are they being helpful? Is this like something that they're doing as like tickets behind the scene? Are they also assisting the dev team? Or do they just have a very active presence in City and they're guiding the community in that way? So there is a lot of different ways of doing it. And we need to take all of those into consideration instead of just, this one person doesn't like them and is very, very, very loud about it. So, there are different ways that we're going to have to be taking all of that feedback into consideration for what's, going to be an effective role for that person, if appropriate. So that's going to be part of our process. We are not there yet. We have started the process. I'm not saying this team is ready to be, fully considered as done, but it is a ongoing discussion and review process. All right. So that's the regular performance reviews and those sort of things. So hopefully we can also kind of tie this into when we have the town hall threads that we're going to be scheduling, because if it's on a 3-monthly basis, we can actually be holding the team accountable with an actual performance review on a basis, rather than just going, oh, we'll just do it whenever we see a problem. Like, that's not, yes, address a problem when it pops up, but at the same time, there should still be a performance review process, which we do have a very large team, so that has been kind of thrown to the wayside for now. So we acknowledge that, and we're moving forward with the attempt to review that process. So there's a comment in here around need a way to show respect to members that are no longer part of the staff team to show an appreciation.
Oh,
So
that was me.
that was you? Okay. No, that's okay.
I mean,
Um,
yeah.
that's all right. Did you want to speak on that one, like personally, or?
No, no, that was more for us. It was more if, when a staff member leaves, we have a way of showing that they were previous staff member, that they did help a lot, and they just decided to step away from the server or something like that. If they
Yeah.
still do roleplay, that was kind of my idea around that one.
Absolutely. So yeah, we can definitely look at that, and there's obviously there's a lot of the times it's people who have previously walked so that we can run, or they've helped us on their journey, and it's something that we should be acknowledging and thanking them for their time and effort, often blood, sweat, and tears that goes into something. Most recently, we have had Rex leave our team. So it's as well as the cat members. So we, yeah, it's one of those things that we can kind of look at potentially. So that's a lovely idea. Thank you, MJP. So community trust issues with delays of actioning tickets, treatment by staff, and desire of staff restructuring. So obviously most of this was covered in the previous points, but just to kind of go back over it a little bit more. So we've just recently put in the ticket Discord thing so that we can hopefully address this at a faster rate. We've already been going through and getting most of them done within a couple of days, if that at the absolute max. We've also gone back through the tickets like on the website to try to close out the old ones. Like there was one that the link never worked, so it just sat there because a ticket was submitted with a video, it never worked. We asked for a different link, didn't get a response, sort of thing. So it's kind of, it just got left because no one really addressed it. So it was like, going back and being like, hey, do you still have this link? Let's deal with it. So that's something that we are going to be trying to, work on as a more regular, like, check-in. Let's see if there's any outstanding tickets from like potentially a weekly basis. Like, how can we make sure that this person is not being just left on red, all those sort of things. So that's going to be just part of our ongoing kind of process with that. We also have the ongoing staff communication and feedback from the admin ticket side, which is one of those challenging things where once you kind of have a bad interaction with a person who's a staff member, you typically don't you typically have like a negative kind of reaction to that person in the future. So we can actually just be like, hey, all right, maybe not the staff member deals with you in the future, all those sort of things. So there are potential resolutions to that, if it's the case of not just appealing the ticket, but just the way that they spoke to you, as well as the feedback that we pass on to that individual about how they may have behaved, or ways that we could handle the situation differently in the future. So that is a way that we can kind of handle that one there. Obviously, this process is not perfect, but at the same time, it is something that we are actively reviewing and going to be like working on it, and then adding it into the feedback about that person when we do the whole performance review basis. So that's just something that people can keep in mind. Please still put the admin tickets in if it's about a staff member specifically. Moderators cannot see it. And then, we can then address it. Zana, if you could just type it in the chat, please, for your point, and then we'll do questions at the end. Because otherwise, I will keep you guys here for multiple hours, and that's just not fun. All right. As well as just a reminder about the bias, consent, or anything like that. If you feel that someone has done a staff action and you feel that it's possibly from a biased point of view, please, you can resubmit the ticket to get it reviewed by someone else. Often, but not always, often, most like, staff actions and all those sort of things have been reviewed by multiple people. It's just one person is talking to you. Most of the time the community kind of holds it against that one person, but generally speaking, it's based on a team kind of perspective. But if you feel that you want to, we do offer the ability to, chuck an appeal in as just into the same section, just saying, appeal a previous decision, and to go for the whole settle in everyone, and to go for the whole, hey, can I just get a different staff member to review this, please, just so I can have the resolution, the resolve that it's the same consistent decision, across multiple people, all those sort of things. Please don't ask your friend to do it, though. If you have a friend in the staff team, don't specifically ask them to look at it. That looks super sus. Don't do that. Just be like, hey, does anyone else other than this person, potentially, if that's the person that previously dealt with it, just, no hard feelings, just a different person, please. Be polite about it. They have feelings. And then we just move on. And then that's why you friend all the mods. And then you just kind of go, okay, next person, just have a review of the exact same thing. Great. There's a well, part of that one, I guess, was the desire for staff restructuring, which we covered in previous points. But sorry, I need water. We covered in previous points, but staff restructuring is a difficult kind of concept, right? Because when you look at it, it is it's not necessarily like we can't just click and drag an entire group to be somewhere else. So staff restructuring will come as part of our performance review. If someone is doing exceptionally well and deserves to potentially have more responsibility, or they've got something else going on that they haven't been able to be super active or anything like that, potentially we just look at reevaluating and moving them down for a certain amount of time, or to let them have a break. Whatever that looks like for them, it'll be an individual basis and come as part of the actual feedback session, and to have that discussion with them. Cool. Server performance and technical issues. So this one was a little bit confusing. So we will kind of take this with still, some feedback. Wait, Tyrone's offering cookies. What is he offering cookies about? Why are we meeting Cookie Man?
What? Yeah,
anyway,
what's going on here?
Okay, so I'm getting distracted. I'm doing the squirrel thing again. So there was a concern raised around player reported issues with lag, crashes, bugs, and their impact on experience. Bugs, 100%. There's always going to be bugs when you add an update in. I am a little bit confused when it comes to the lag and crashes concern, which, to be fair, there are some areas that still kind of do have that concern. I know that when we added in the Bendigo racetrack, there was a lot of issues with Grapeseed, which, and then the tunnel system and the same thing. But we're also too, we found Anya's weakness is just sugar in general. But it's, they reported just kind of ongoing issues. We're not too sure if this is a legacy concern. For example, that if people are holding on to that PTSD and they're kind of going, oh, there's so many problems, it's, or there are certain people that are experiencing certain areas of being difficult. So also, Zenish, just to actually clarify, your bans have been from multiple people. So I've actually gone back and checked. They are different people. They are not the same person. So I just want to clarify on that one before we get ahead of ourselves. Nope, that's actually incorrect. So a lot of people have the whole, I'm going to blame this one person. Not the case in your situation. Just want to clarify. Anyway, going back to our actual point, which is this. So the PTSD that I'm not too sure is that situation of the constant crashing or anything like that was reported. It was one person, but we still want to address it. So yeah, if there is performance issues, we have been dealing with them, and there's a couple of tickets in that, like a car is being problematic at the moment. You know, we'll look at that. But yeah, we haven't seen as many players actually report performance issues recently, so we'll continue taking that feedback. But when we have the mass reporting of the Bendigo thing or anything like that, that's the problem. Oh, okay, so you're still having issues in Bendigo. All right, so Bendigo might be something we look at. So that might
Bendigo
actually be
is a we honestly none of us know what it is. We've been trying to work it out for so long because there's no.
Okay.
It's been an ongoing thing, and we're still trying to work it out. But yeah, if anyone has any suggestions that hasn't been said already, please.
Yeah, we're more than happy to take on some advice. I'm Chalda. I just saw that you just asked for a church MLO, and I swear to God, if you're raising your hand for that purpose, no. Anyway, so we're happy to look at performance issues. Raise it again. We're happy to look at ways that we could fix the Bendigo situation. 100%. If you or anyone you know is potentially skilled in that whole dev team, you are more than welcome to chuck in a volunteering for dev application, or hey, I've got some suggestions on this. You could do this differently, or just have a chat with us dev if you want to get called into a meeting or whatever. So we'll deal with that. Concerns around the anti-cheat enforcement, cheater bans, and server administration technical support. We are actually looking at a new anti-cheat at the moment, which we're currently stress testing on the dev server with the staff integration and instruction. So we do know that this is a problem. Most servers find that this is a problem. It is not just us. Everyone kind of has their own pointy fingers sort of thing. It is all 5M servers. All 5M servers have cheaters. That is not exclusive to here. I'm being very, very clear on that. We're not taking the blame as exclusive. It is everywhere. It is part of the community at this point. Everyone knows a cheater. Straight up. That is not us. So it is not it's not just us. So we are going to be looking at that sort of thing, but it is something that we are currently stress testing because we obviously don't want to have someone who jumps twice and then gets banned or anything like that, which has previously happened when we tried to test this. So we want to kind of work through that first so that we don't have people saying, I was false banned, all those sort of things. We want the consistency and people to be able to trust it. So that is something we're currently stress testing. We have heard your feedback around that. We are actually going to address it. We don't want it to be released without it being fully finalized in that regard. Server rules, economy, and progression. This is quite a lengthy topic. Clarity, consistency, and enforcement of rules. So this one here, MJP has gone through all of the rules and has made suggestions on re-editing them to have further clarification and more information around each rule and the practical application of that rule. So, oh my God, there's a fucking church. So we're going to be potentially looking at that and getting a little bit of feedback on that sort of thing, so that we can do that. Benny, this was notified a week ago. We take priority. There just happened to be that other people made an event. So that's why. And there's also going to be a recording and a transcribed version so that everyone can still do this. We're not moving the town hall because of an event. They can read or watch the thing later on. There's full access to that once this is done. So we're going to be doing the whole potentially revisiting the rules, making it more accessible and clear on these sort of things. So that's good. Perceived economy issues, inflation, grind fatigue, pay to win criticisms with the crates cases, the need for a server economy reset. So we've previously had multiple town hall thread discussions where the community does not want an economy reset. Everyone, will kind of say it's a good idea, but then we have an actual discussion about it, and people realize, that means I lose all my stuff, and people don't want to lose their stuff. So, in a sense, a lot of people have the concern around it, but there is no practical way of looking at that and going, okay, here's how we fix it. So Giga and MGP and the rest of the dev team as well have been instrumental in finding ways of weeding money out of the economy. There's things like Night Kids, for example, like, tens of millions of dollars go into that, and then most of it's, removed money from the economy. There are ways that we can start to gently remove some of the money and all those sort of things. But it is like with the, 1 of 10s and all those sort of things. There are a lot of ways of doing this. I know that the dev team have also been looking at doing the, the depreciation value on items, like the things that break. So you then have to do a repair kit, or, they break over time, and then, all those sort of things. Yeah, Bill's actually a really interesting idea. I think we were going to do land tax at one point. But yeah, so the devs are currently looking at, no, you're not hearing keys, you're hearing my dog's collar shaking. She's like scratching, and then the collar jingles. So yeah, there are a lot of ways that we're looking at potentially removing money from the economy, but there has to be a balance, because it has to be able to be supportive of the new people that don't have any money, but also kind of targeting the rich, but in a balanced manner. So there's different ways that we're looking at this. We obviously don't want to, implement something that is going to damage any one group or anything like that. So we don't want to kind of just throw a suggestion in there and for it to fail. So that's something that we're going to be looking at ongoing. But the dev team are currently looking at this as a concern. It's something that we've been looking at for a very long time. Roleplay quality and incentives. So there's a concern raised around deterioration of roleplay quality, shifting focus to roleplay to combat, or quote unquote fragging, and shrinking the RP community. So as we've mentioned, we are trying to bring it back to that more kind of RP focused approach. So we've been looking at ways of supporting the civilian community as well, because they have, raised the concern that they've been wildly ignored for a very long time. So we're trying to show our support in that manner and give them some attention at the moment, and find ways of better supporting them. So potentially, if we look at the whole mayor thing, we can then actually have the regular feedback given back to the staff team, keep us grounded, keep us addressing the actual issues that the players are feeling, as well as the ongoing feedback forms, the town halls, all those sort of things. Our aim is to address the concerns of the people. And we're then going to be, hopefully the events team, which are doing an absolutely phenomenal job already, is going to be all those sort of things as well. So they're going to have very, very heavy interaction. And the Centling support team, which, to be renamed, will also be part of that whole needing to revisit how new players are coming into the community, how we can direct them to, the civ jobs, the businesses, all those sort of things, as that initial showing support for those companies and stuff like that. So it's going to be an ongoing process, and we're more than happy to take your feedback on that. So again, this feedback form is going to be left open, ongoing, not going to be closed. You're welcome to put it into this form for us to be addressing it in the town hall meetings. And then we take ongoing feedback from the town hall threads as well. Cheldo, just wait, please. You take the feedback from the ongoing threads to address concerns as they happen, ongoing sort of thing, and then we can have the wider span community meeting about things. So yeah, that's good. And hopefully that'll bring back the whole positive engagement and all those sort of things. Orgs, crews, and balance. So concerns around the. Oh, you okay?
Sorry. Yep. Going
You
slowly.
okay? Oh, okay. All right. So concerns around the org dominance, power, and impact on the regular civilian players. And also, there needs to be more transparency, accountability for orgs, groups, and behavior. So we are going to be having some meetings with the org members. It's usually just org leadership, but they do get quite regular meetings. So it's usually feedback that they provide us, but we will also be kind of talking with them about other aspects as well. So we're more than happy to kind of take feedback on this. I know that there's been quite a few points raised in the actual threads, which we do read, and we're going to be kind of addressing some of those concerns with the org members and all those sort of things. So yeah, poor PP, rest in peace. So that's going to be one of those going and having another meeting kind of discussions and then addressing some things. Businesses, civilian economy structures. So the businesses struggles and suggestions for business owners and non-org civilians. I do know that there has been some feedback presented with the businesses and everything, and how they have been struggling and want a little bit more support. This has been an ongoing process that we need to kind of find. What is going on in the chat? We need to kind of find a way of giving the businesses some more love. So we have had a couple of times the suggestion of, hey, can we not run events at the same time that a business is open, because it actually draws the population away and all those sort of things. So we've put most of the regular businesses into the calendar now, because there's a group calendar that we monitor amongst the groups. So we want to hopefully kind of address that whole situation of going, okay, let's just try to balance it so that we're not actually like stepping on anyone's toes and all those sort of things. So if anyone else has any specific like suggestions or anything like that, that would be lovely, so that we can better help those businesses. I know that there's been a couple of hey, let's just direct more civs towards them, when we see new players, like, we need to kind of link them in and go, hey, you can actually go get some delicious food that actually does more for you if you go to this like one of these businesses or anything like that. And before anyone mentions it, yes, we are like looking eventually at doing the whole benefits from going to a civ business. That's the point. We are looking at that. We are going in that direction. It's a bit of a difficult script. So yes, we are aware of people have suggested that previously. We agree with you. Sounds like a great idea. We're not just like ignoring that as a potential option or anything like that. Oh, they made up. That's nice. So yes, please support your local businesses. Love them, give them help. Go to them over just a convenience store. The convenience stores are meant to be the whole, if absolutely nothing else is around, you then go to it. All those sort of things. So go support your local businesses. Give them some love. We love them. And then we're actually kind of coming to the end. I've actually managed to actually keep this under an hour. This is actually insane. So we'll have some time for some discussion points. So suggestions for future vision. So some people would like some concrete suggestions around the server improvement. So we're looking at obviously including the and safe to do so. Merit-based staff promotions. So through the performance reviews, we want to be able to actually recognize staff members that are not just popular, because that was a previous suggestion of promoting people based off popularity, but ones that are actually pulling their weight and helping the community, being helpful staff members that are actually making a difference in people's experience through, you know, through tickets and answering questions, or through making sure that the community's felt safe, through doing staff actions, or, you know, through answering questions and those sort of things. Like, should be a performance-based measure, which previously it has been that, but not on a formalized level of, hey, you've done this, this, and this sort of thing. It's more so like, you've been doing an amazing job. You've done all of these things. Good job. So we want to be able to give very, very specific feedback before we do promotions or potential moving them elsewhere. Reviving the planning meetings and town halls. So again, hello, welcome to our town hall. We have thrown this one together after just the most recent feedback thread, feedback survey. But at the same time, the survey will be kept open, as I've mentioned a couple of times, so that we can hope to do this on a more regular basis. If we also look at doing the mayor thing, which we have previously wanted to do, but we were wanting to kind of do an in-city, you know, like you third eye the ballot, like box, and then get to vote, like in-game, doing that sort of thing. That script was a little bit delayed, which has then delayed the entire process, but we wanted to do it all in one go. Ballot, not pallet. And so we're, you know, just to get it up and running, we could potentially still do the EOI form. People vote. We hold like the in-city election, in-city announcement, all those sort of things. We're currently discussing like what those people could be doing for the community. So, and potentially have little backups. So like deputies and all those sort of things. So should be like a really exciting way of keeping the community's voice heard, and then able to having an advocate, this person that kind of, you know, stands up and gets their voice across. So hopefully that'll kind of bridge the gap of people being able to feel their voices heard, you know, in regards to the staff team and all those sort of things. So yeah, we're going to be looking at what they're able to do, because we want it to be a realistic expectation, that they don't feel disappointed, that they don't get to, like, you know, come in and change a staff rule or anything like that. But at the same time, like, potentially, you know, have involvement in other areas and all those sort of things. And then open communication. So hopefully by having these town hall threads on a more regular basis, we can kind of give you that insight into what's happening behind the scenes. And also, I know that recently with the Centrelink support, we've been actually just giving them more information than we probably should. I actually used a couple of quotes from our last mod meeting where probably, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So, you know, we're hoping that that helps the community to kind of have that little peek in behind the closed door and be like, ooh, we know what's coming, you know, and then maybe that spreads, maybe it doesn't, but, you know, at least then we're having a bit more open communication about it, sort of thing. So that could be nice. And the idea for regular, transparent updates about changes, upcoming features, and vision of the server. So in regards to the dev team, there is a lot of communication about this. Obviously, this is something that we can have ongoing, but I'm not too sure specifically how people want that to improve, other than us just straight up saying, hey, what's an example? Hebe, what's an example of something that's dev, you know, coming up that we've kind of hinted at and that, you know, we haven't outrightly just said?
The problem and the reason why we don't do this is because we used to try and do this, but it fell into a trap where we would say something's coming in, and then as we're building it, as we're working on it, the legacy systems stop us from actually letting it in, and then there's 40,000 people that were expecting this thing, and now it's not happening. That's the majority of the reason why we don't really do too much of that. We try to do it when we know something's going to work, but nothing always works.
Yeah, so just to kind of, I guess, give a bit more information about what MJP here has just said. It's lovely to be like, hey, this is our plan. This is what we want to do. MJP's very sick. Rest in peace. Everyone, thoughts and feelings to MJP. Be gentle with them.
They've been very very
And then
overworked.
he's also had to deal with the whole subscription bot. And then, so
Oh.
everyone, by the way, if you've noticed your subscriptions have changed with the Tebex thing, the bot went down temporarily. So MJP has tirelessly worked on it to get it back up and running. It is currently now running, but he has to manually review every single subscription that has come in during that time that it's been down, to make sure that you guys get what you've actually just got, it like what you should have on your profile and everything like that. So he's currently having to manually go through all of that. So we are very, very grateful to MJP and his poor soul as he goes through the sick time as well as trying to help the community. But thank you, MJP. But just kind of, I guess, going over it just to save his voice as well. So it's a lovely idea to be able to be like, this is what we want to do. We are trying to do this currently, and that's all amazing. But then we all just kind of worry that what if we have this great idea, and then we run into this roadblock of like, oh, it doesn't work because of this reason, and then we've just let everyone down. That's usually why we kind of avoid telling people specifically what we want to do, because what if what if it doesn't work, and then we've just disappointed a large group of people that got super excited about something and then can't have it. And yes, everyone says the whole, oh, they'll understand, just communicate openly. You haven't dealt with a very large group of disappointed people before. No, I'm kidding. So it's one of those things that we will just potentially give you guys the hint of like, hey, we would like to do the whole polyzone of being in a social business, gives you some form of benefit. We're not going to go into specifics about it in case it can't be that exact vision, but at the same time we want to at least give the direction of, hey, we would like to go in this direction in an ideal world. We will aim for that as much as we can, but at the same time, we want it to just kind of, have that room as a wiggle room either side for a margin of error. So yes, we are 100% agree with you. It'd be very, very fun to do more transparency, which we will try. We will try to do that. Just we can't do the whole, hey, this is the exact thing that we want to do, just because sometimes it changes that little bit. Like I've said like 1,000 times, I want the old prison back. But like it might not be that exact one. Anything. So there's different ways of kind of carrying that information across. But yes, we will continue to try to be more transparent with future things coming in and all those sort of things. So that's the thing. I still want the old MRC, not that's very, very specific one, but I want a very, very similar one back. And we're not confirming anything or promising anything, but this is what I mean by the whole transparency factor. I would like it. It's on my wish list for Christmas, but just saying. Anyway, we have now come to the point of our prepared statements. So we're actually going very, very good on time. We have 2 hours budgeted for this, so we're at currently 9:10 on my time at least. So we can do some questions. If you feel that we've already raised or at least covered a portion of of something that you wanted to talk about, just drop your hand, all those sort of things. And then we can kind of go over all those sort of things. So we're going chronological order. So the first one being Zenish, and then people can still kind of put in their discussion points.
Hey guys, how you going?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Look, I didn't want to make this about my own issues with bans and whatnot and admins, but look, I just thought I would come in, and I had some points about mainly what does Bluebird do well and what should we improve on, in my opinion. I've only been here for a year, but just from what I've seen, I think going off Orson's main points from last time, I think we just, as a community, we need to decide on a clear direction. What's I guess your vision for the server, and where do you want it to go moving forward? And in my opinion, what made Bluebird so good was, I guess, the high standard of RP and the structured pathways of police and whatnot. You won't find another city that has active corrections officers and then who do training and go through the ranks and whatnot, and then you'll find them in
His internet's just connected. I believe we'll bring him back up onto the stage when he comes back. I don't know where is he gone?
I don't see him in the.
Okay, he might. Yeah, he's might have fallen disconnected from the thing. If anyone sees him come back, just let us know, and we'll come back to him. I'll wait for him to return before we kind of address some of the stuff he started to talk about, because I wanted to give him that opportunity to return. So we'll go in the meantime, just temporarily to I Am Childo, and then we'll come back to Zenish once he returns.
Jeez, lady, there was a bit of a tone when you said you were going to bring up my username. Jeez, I'm already feeling the cold shoulder. Okay. All right. So Church MLO. Now, hear me out. Before I just blurt it out for no reason, here's how I reckon this thing will fix a lot of things. Right? Small businesses. Guess who they can get supported by? No. Hear me out. The businesses thing. Guess who can get supported by? The Catholic Church as well, as it does in real life, right? It's like pure realistic roleplay, because it does. You can't deny that the Catholic Church doesn't support small businesses, because it does. And then it could also be like a charity kind of thing. And don't worry, I'm already past, so well, not really a pastor, but more like a youth leader. And it can open up doors for more roleplay, because what it can do, a lot of people will see like Bible studies, and it can be kept like very, very politically neutral, to the point where it's not going to, sway on one side, but it's just going to be direct teachings about what it is. You know what I mean? It can be. So
look, I do
already
agree
have
with you
like
that,
a list.
I'm glad that you have a list. So look, I agree that a lot of people, this sort of like roleplay does appeal to a lot of people, and I'm not stopping you. I'm just saying, like, show us that there is a need for the MLO. So currently there is this beautiful church with this beautiful outdoor area up in like the Bendigo Mount Thomasy sort of, I don't know what you technically class that area as, but the one that's like near some fruit stands and stuff, and it's like, yeah, that is beautiful. You could literally pretend that like that's a church, and you could just have like an outdoors like kind of
yeah, but guys, he's gonna tell me who actually drives all the way up there unless it's for a crate night. Yeah, see. Come on, guys. See,
people that
unless it's for a crate night or a van night.
I'll be simple. Unless
thank you, people in the chat. Like people that like actually want to roleplay and everything. Like, yeah, you have a valid point. Like, it's far away from the city, but at the same time, like.
Okay, but when we're just talking about a different topic, lady, but what we're just talking about a different topic about the degradation of the quality of roleplay.
Okay,
yes,
so
you don't need MLOs to have quality for roleplay.
It's like exactly that's what I'm saying. So the MLO will give up so much quality for roleplay.
But
you don't need MLOs for roleplay.
So if we
and then we could do it for weddings and different events.
Look, that's fair. So like the thing is with the MLO system, if we add additional MLOs that are not actually being used, people in the entire everyone has to load that MLO, so it's going to cause further drain. So we need to prove that the MLO will actually be used consistently and regularly. That's part of the selling. You need to show us that the people are actually going to use this church MLO for us to consider it.
I reckon 1 month trial. 1 month trial. 1
month trial of you showing us that the people would actually do this.
Yeah,
then
literally.
We will consider it as an option.
Give it a 1 month trial for people to use it. Yeah. And then if it doesn't work out, my mouth is shut forever. All right?
No. We're not going to put it in. Showing us that the people would actually do this form of roleplay. And
you're going to find a place. to do it
Absolutely,
without
guys.
the MLO.
without the MLO. We don't give you a MLO and then give you a month to prove it because you're just going to get everyone to like spam it for that 1 month. You need to go and show
Yeah, but
us
then
that the
let's still
people
use it
are
after.
actually asking.
Look at all the
Probably
people
won't.
already asking. Look at the chat.
Yeah. Okay.
See,
Yeah.
even Alicia will use it, bro.
I'm
And Alicia ain't even
I'm
Catholic
the
or a
wall here
Christian
for
at
it
all.
coming into the server.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So let's take those walls down like Jericho. Am I right?
I don't
my
take
God.
I don't take walls down. Not after what happened the other night. My walls have gotten thicker.
Damn,
Okay.
how thick?
All right. No. All right. So if you can show us, hey, look, go use the rehab center. There's a beautiful outdoor area there.
A rehab
It's,
center?
you know, yes, there is
Yeah.
a beautiful. Most people use that for weddings.
Guys.
It's beautiful there.
The last time anyone's been to the rehab center is when we got PD wiped by suits in 2023. Come on, guys.
No, people use it
There was
regularly
people
still.
there
like
yesterday.
what?
Unless
What do you
somebody
mean?
replaces
Anyway,
it
go
for a
use the
clubby.
golf course. Go. There's a church literally in the middle of the city. That freaking what was it back in Invictus days? Arabella, like who were the Ronald's group? I don't even remember the called.
The Children
Anyway,
of Ron.
The Children of
Oh,
Ron
God.
made their own church.
Children of Ron.
Like, the Children of
Jesus
Ron.
Christ.
Like they made their own church and they literally
See,
did basically
MJP,
like Scientology-based
That's
religion
the
there.
spirit, bro. That's the spirit, MJP. Jesus Christ. That's what I'm talking about. Woo!
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
Oh my
Kelda, are
God.
you
That's
done
what I'm
with your-
saying, bro. Woohoo!
Are you done
about to
with
put
your
him down again.
with your like your
Yeah,
soapbox preaching? Okay.
Final
You're
question.
more than welcome
Final
to
question.
go do
Final
that after you
question.
in the city. Yep.
Final question. When's Bluebird roleplay going to be coming to Roblox?
You are more than you are more than welcome to go and do a Roblox group on. For you, go ahead. We're
I
not
just
we're not
sent him
stopping you,
straight
mate.
down.
Good job. Okay. What did I say?
God damn it.
Let us know when you're back.
Is Anish back? Oh, is he?
Wait, why does Mitch respond with that? Did I do something wrong? Anyway, cool. So that's whenever Zenis gets back, just tell us. All right. Wait, he's not in the.
I'm here.
Wait, what? Why is he not in the Discord?
What do you mean?
Wait, what?
Wait, Zenish is apparently. Oh,
Hang on.
Zenish is gone.
I mean, I'll look at it.
Okay, thank you. That's weird. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll come back to that and figure out where he's gone.
I just have two brief points.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So my first one is stricter rules for whitelisted players. Now, I know this was a topic in the town hall topics, town something, whatever it is, the other day. People were saying to change the whitelist like requirements or the perks. There was, to be honest, anyone who saw what I think I got a bit confused with where it was going. Anyway, that's not really the point. What I mean by stricter rules, I think if you have whitelist, you shouldn't use that as a way to, or like personally, I've seen a few people who have had whitelist, then they've done something questionable, then just lose the whitelist, but they're still in the game. So not in the game, but they're not banned necessarily. Obviously, as far as I'm concerned, everyone's sort of held to a higher standard. But I think like if you lose a whitelist, like you should essentially lose the ability to have it again in the future.
Well, I think that we are trying to review the whole whitelist thing in general. So this is a very valid feedback. So it depends if it's a suspension or if it's like the full like loss. There are two situations with that. So I actually need to bring it up in front of me because I don't remember the quote off the top of my head around the time frame. Ara, do you remember the whole spiel? Because it's something like if you do it within a certain amount of time, and I can't remember what that time is.
If you get carded as a whitelisted player.
Yes, yeah. With
I
the
think if
suspension
you
versus
get a
what?
second card within 6 months, you lose it permanently. So you get like one attempt, basically. If you get a red card, you get a
Okay.
chance to sell your house as well.
Yeah, and there's also the whole if it's a certain amount of time after you recently getting it as well, there is quite a strict kind of time frame on that. So it's more than happy if we review that whole process, because we are trying to. There was a previous, not in this feedback thread, but a previous one that was raised. Oh God, about a year ago. Oh God, I think it was about a year ago. They raised them on who picks the whitelist, blah blah blah. Let's review that whole process, and we're still actively trying to figure out a way to actually remove full bias from the situation. Pretty much, the people wanted it to be opened up. Opened up more, but actually invited more bias, because then it was a popularity contest on voting, not actually based on merit. Then we wanted to do a thread, an anonymous feedback form on the internet, we're not talking about that, to hide who is voting for what, because we then found that someone does one vote and then everyone else copies it, or all those sort of things. So it's all those sort of situations. Yeah, Ronnie, that's interesting. He was like mid talking though. That's kind of the I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, we'll leave him. But yeah, so there are there's a lot of different ways that we're looking at it. We wanted to then put that whole praise RP kind of statistic into it as well, and be helpful in that kind of manner. So I'm getting very distracted with the chat at the moment, and I can't do two things at once. But yeah, it's one of those things that we are more than happy to keep taking on feedback on how to improve the quality of whitelist, or improve that that selection process and all those sort of things, because it's helpful in the end of the day for the quality, like the level, the standard that is being set. We want that to not be tarnished and everything's like. So we're more than happy to take feedback. So if you believe that it's like one of those things of if it's suspended, it should stay gone or whatever, we can definitely take that on board, as well as other feedback.
Cool. And just the only other point I had was, I don't know if it's possible, but to have more whitelisted businesses, as in player-run businesses.
Yeah, that's fair. So there are potentially going to be some, maybe, no guarantees, but maybe some businesses going up for auction. And we're
Yeah,
still
well, I mean, I get there's limited spaces in terms of how much dev work can be put into it in terms of that way.
Yeah. Well, it's at the end of the day, it's also if we can spread around the MLOs, that's our main concern. And then also, we don't want to add too many businesses in when the player count might not be there to frequently attend every single business. So we want to give everyone kind of the best opportunity for success, and not chuck a new business in there and not have enough people to actually keep them sustained as well. So that's one of those things. But well, yeah, the player-run mini stores as well. We're also potentially looking at reducing the number, so it's a bit more exclusive. That you actually have one of those sort of things, which should help that situation. But yes, so we do want to look at more businesses, but it's also managing and making sure that we're actually giving the current ones enough attention, so they're happy first. And then we're dealing with their concerns as our priority, and then potentially we can look at adding more in as well. But we also don't want to neglect the current ones that have been asking for some support, and then to just chuck a new one in there. Anyway,
Yeah, I think as well. I mean, if you look at even, I don't know if anyone remember Dwight Clark. He ran the Cluck and Duck chicken place. I think that was a built-in thing. It wasn't added later. And I've seen a couple. Yeah, Cluck and Bell. That's the one. There are a few businesses that I think people are trying to run, and not to big up myself here, but that wouldn't necessarily require dev work either. Maybe if it was just like an inventory and a door lock or something. Even the Big Orange that Aaron ran, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago now, he had something like that. I don't know if more businesses like that would be possible.
Yes. So V Grub, I'm just gonna like, you can just have like a 60-second timeout, mate. Just hush, shush. You know, you just.
So you're talking
you just
about like
need
the
something.
business program through Royal in a way.
Yeah, so Dwight's the Cluck and Duck. What is it called?
Cluck and
Cluck and
Bell.
Bell.
Yeah, that one. His was with Business Plus,
Yeah.
which I don't know if the channel still exists in the Royal emails. Anyway, but like Aaron's one, the big orange, that one was added separate. And I just thought I was thinking more of it the other day, like yeah, I forgot the name. Anyway, say
okay.
I don't want to big up myself here or do my own horn, as people say. But you know, when the phones was changed, then the taxi job disappeared. Then the taxi app on the phone disappeared. I like that. That's something I would like to bring. Like,
Okay.
that's sort of a separate problem. But sort
No,
of
that's
that
okay. Well,
aspect.
like
So not
GBP.
necessarily
Yeah.
more buildings.
Mm.
But maybe just like an inventory or a door lock or maybe a vehicle or something. I don't know if that's
Well,
possible.
no, that's part of what the Business Plus program is. So like, it's like the inventory, the door lock, all this sort of things. It's through Royal Real Estate, so it's like, you know, RP through a civilian run business and all this sort of things. So there is definitely ways that we could approach that. It's just, and you have had a very consistent basis, so it's one of those things that we want to kind of see. You know, when a player pops up like Cluck and Bell, it's kind of like, you know, hey, they're actually like regularly putting in the effort. That's fantastic. Like, you know, they'd be perfect for this Business Plus program. Like, what do they actually need from us? Blah blah blah. So you know, there's definitely like, you know, all those options. Oh, they've closed Business Plus?
We can
Yeah,
talk to
I
them.
don't know.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can talk to them about that sort of thing then, if that's the case. It might just be that
Well,
there was no need for it anymore because the business is closed. But we can look into that, because if that's something that the people want and are actually going to utilize, great. Mark, don't
yeah, I
tag her.
think.
It's not her fault. Sorry.
Yeah, I think even if it's, you know what I mean. Yep. Cool.
That's okay. We will look at that and review it.
Sweet. Thanks so much.
No worries. That's okay.
That's it. Get me out of
All right.
here. I mean, as
I
in,
don't
like,
actually
put me
know how
back.
to. Yeah, I don't know how to. I'll move to audience. No worries.
I've already done that.
Oh, beautiful. I was gonna say I'm very scared that
Did
I'm
you
gonna
only
like
just figure
disconnect
it
someone
out?
from the server. What? I'm
Just
fine. I
click the
don't know
three
how to break.
dots.
Okay. Well, I didn't. Anyway. All right. Kale.
All right.
Hello.
First of all, I want to start
Wait,
this on a little bit of a positive note. I want to thank,
Mm-hmm.
after chatting to you guys last week during the town hall, we've had the devs reach out to us on the court about the court stuff, and we're working
yeah.
towards trying to get all that sorted. So first of all, I want to open this up by saying thank you for that. It is definitely it is a visible positive step in the right direction.
Yee. Good. I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you for the positive feedback. That's amazing.
I mean, look, you can't just give all negative, you know? So far, it's been great. Also, with the 50-50,
Everything's good,
after the chat about the 50-50 shooting and RP events, especially helping with the events team, I've definitely noticed a lot more of that happening now. So once again, thank you to you and Alicia for being amazing with the events team and running everything. So big shout out to Alicia.
Alicia's been doing an incredible job, as well as the rest of the events team. We're very proud of them.
Oh, it was great. I'm going to steal their pants. So I have a question, which was, if you remember when Honor Security like dissolved, and then the
Yeah.
business form went out for, hey, look, we got a business slot. Is that still going ahead, or with the new kind of like mini stores, has that been put on a back burner?
To be fair, it did get put on the back burner a little bit because we got the mini stores. We are still looking at putting that business slot back in. We do need to put potentially, maybe like a business up for auction, maybe two. Who knows? You know, like, but it's one of those things that we will be ongoing, like reviewing as well. But we can still look at that if there's some options in there that we feel we can accurately support the community and giving them something that could benefit them and help them to have an amazing like RP experience and all those sort of things. So definitely it's something that we will still look at that. We will acknowledge that we kind of did let that one transition to the back burner of the stovetop just because we put in the other stores. So we're kind of like, okay, well, temporarily we'll transition to other focus areas and we can come back to this in a little bit. Yes, jingle jingle. But yeah, it's one of those things that we are still aware of it. We are still agreeing with you that it is a good idea, and to give everyone that opportunity to potentially bring forward their creativity and maybe run a really successful business. A couple of people ironically put their hand up for honor security again.
Yeah.
So, we are still happy to go back and review that document, which is perfectly fine. Hey, if you
Do
still
you
have
still
suggestions
have
and you want
the
to,
documents from
we
the
do.
original
Yes.
I
batch?
can
Okay,
repost
cool.
it. Yeah.
All right, that's
So,
cool. Because I know that
if
myself
you
and
guys want that.
Fallacy spent a week writing one up, like what, 9 months
No,
ago.
we
So
saw it.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, if anyone else is wanting to add another one in there, or to like they feel that they didn't get to it in time and they want to still put it in now, more than welcome, sort of thing. Go ahead. It's still sitting there in the whitelisted members section. I think I pinned it somewhere. But otherwise we can always put it back in there as another, yeah, it's pinned, thank you. Before we select, we could potentially reopen it as a, hey, last minute option, here you go. It's kind of assessing whether something will be beneficial to a large portion of the community, not just smaller sectors, all those sort of things. So
Oh, I
just take that into
understand.
consideration. Yeah, no.
Oh, I mean, I own Lala.
Yeah. So it's that's the thing. So it's it's one of those things that we will be still looking at. I think that'd be a very, very good way of supporting the civilian based and the business based RP community.
Okay, well, look, thank you very much for that. It's great to hear. And once again, as I said, over the last week, at least me personally, this isn't me blowing smoke up your ass, but I've seen a lot of good change. So thanks
That's
for
really
that.
good. Thank you. Jesus.
And
Okay, the
yeah,
sleepless nights are actually showing off. That's good.
yeah. No, look,
Yeah,
it's
staff team is
definitely
doing
the
amazing.
aura. Like, I'm not using this ironically, but like the vibe, like the aura, just everything's kind of shifted up a gear. It feels good.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Staff team, we're very proud of you. Thank you for all of your help. And thank you to our new additions of the Little Centerling support as well. You guys have been doing an incredible job. Very, very proud. So yeah.
Well, have a good night, guys.
We might not always. Yeah, you have a good night too. Do I have to push you back down?
I can.
Gently. Okay, there we go. Yeah, BBRP Olympics. Hey, if anyone wants to run it, you're more than welcome to. We will support you. We will give you whatever you need to run it. It's just whether someone wants to put their hand up and run it. So, we have the events team and everything that you can be a part of and help support that process. Mitch, the dev team constantly get recognition. I've said thank you to the dev team multiple times in this meeting. Hush. So yeah, everyone is very, very welcome to run the Olympics if you want to. The BBRP support team will help you, but it's just whether you want to. My bad, I was fragging. Oh yes, that's right, Arabella. But yes, lovely. All right, Billy.
What's going
Dustin
on,
was
guys?
lovely. Hello, how are you?
I've got a few things to kind of discuss about.
Yep.
Mainly, first is like pretty much when we put in tickets, or myself mainly, I get a response that's half-assed, I feel,
Okay.
where it's like kind of just copied and paste. It just doesn't feel to the the standards that you would kind of like, where it's like, is this actually going to be done? Like, if you know what I mean. Like, if
Yeah.
someone has RDM'd or VDM'd or something, and you put in clips and you put in a solid proof, and then it's just like a very half-assed comment back, where it's like, yeah, it's being looked into or something, where it's like we kind of want or at least myself, I would like a saying of just being like, what's called like, fuck, it's like
It's okay.
at
Gonna
least
jump
like
in.
a feedback after being like, oh, this guy has gotten a yellow card, or we've talked to him and it was
Yeah.
an accident, or something like that. Just
You know.
at least
Yeah.
a little bit of honesty, where it's just like every time I put a ticket in it or something, it's just like, yeah, we've solved it. It's like, yeah, fuck, did you actually? You know what I mean?
Okay. So can I so is this through the Discord tickets or is it the old website one?
It
Just
would be
start with.
old websites. To be honest, I haven't been
Totally fine.
bothered to do any reports recently. I've just been demotivated. Um,
That's okay.
like, yeah, I've been
So
playing other games for a bit.
yeah,
Which,
understandable. Look, everyone takes breaks
yeah,
and stuff, and it's we
yeah, yeah.
encourage that.
No,
So to
100%.
start with, I guess we have the automatic response for the first part of the conversation is, hey, well, we spent some time looking into this, thank you for submitting it, sort of thing. That is an automatic one that gets sent pretty much like every single time. Most mods will just kind of be like, copy and paste, like, quick, hey, I'm the one assigned to this ticket.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go check into the POVs and everything. Sometimes that comes across as the whole automated, like lack of effort, all those sort of things.
yeah,
I'm not too sure if it was you, but your leadership did raise this recently that there was a concern that came across as lack of evidence and like lack of response from the staff team, everything like that. We actually literally responded to them with the actual response of the first one being the automated one and then an actual answer below it, but apparently that wasn't read. I'm not too sure if that was you, but
nah,
that seems to
don't
happen
believe
quite a
so.
bit.
No. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So the initial response is the automated one. That is a standard thing across all moderators. I don't potentially do that because I kind of just go, little 2-second answer. I've
yeah,
looked into this, done. Um, like, it's one of those things that some people just send the automatic one. That's a separate thing. If the actual second response of we've looked into this, we've actioned it, or if it's appropriate, we deliberately keep that vague because we don't want people knowing the exact action that's being taken. And I know that's frustrating. We've had to address this multiple times across like the amount of time that we've been doing these kind of feedback things. We keep it vague because it allows because if we don't keep it vague and we have a very specific answer, then people go, ha ha, I got you banned, you dumb little shit. So it's like, it turns into this whole thing. So we
yeah,
very clearly don't tell people the exact action. And yes, we've had the conversations with feedback and community members to go, oh, okay, well, we should just have a little bit more like information because the whole we've actioned this is a very like standard quote, I guess, that we've had to put across basically everything. That comes back to our training. It's not the actual individual moderator's fault or anything. It's something that we've trained them to do because of that concern that we can't tell the community what we've done. We've always had to keep it vague because some people go ahead and are dicks and decide, we're going back to the swearing, guys, I'm sorry. They go back to the whole, turn around and bully the person that has done, XYZ or whatever that they've got a ticket against. So we specifically don't tell people for that reason. It is a deliberate thing. It is not just like a lack of effort or anything. It is specific training that the staff are told not to do. So yes, we've always kind of done the whole, we're happy to take on some feedback around potentially giving a little bit more information if we can, but it is not a consistent thing that we can't just say, hey, we've given this person a card, we've given this person a staff action, because also sometimes, and we've also spoken about this multiple times previously when this concern's been raised, if we tell you actually their POV shows that they're on the other side of that door, they're not even in the same room as you, like it's just that your game tells you a different piece of information to their game, so they're responding based on their situation, and from your point of view they're doing something else,
yeah,
blah blah blah. And some people don't accept that information either, and then they go, oh, you're lying to me now, and it just kind of turns into a bigger thing. So
yeah,
staff are told that we just go, okay, we've looked into this. We've checked both POVs, so we've gathered a reasonable amount of information from both parties to make an informed decision based on what we're presented with from both parties, and that decision has now been completed. We are vague for a specific reason, and I know that's frustrating for a lot of people, and it's, we put time and effort, and that's why we've moved into the Discord ticket-based system, so that we can save you time, so that people are feeling less drained by putting in this information into a website that then might, crash on us or anything for, because tech problems, and, which is not the website's fault, MJP. It's just, tech issues in general. So sorry, I didn't hurt your child, but, it's, we're trying to help the community to make it easier for them, and to actually go like, hey, here is now the ticket thing that you guys want, so that you don't even have to go onto this website. You can just do it in the Discord where you already hang out. You can you can just have a real conversation with this person. There's no there's no automated responses in there because we don't have it set up that way. So we just literally go, hey, can you send me this ticket? Can you send me this video? Cool. I'll go have a chat with them, or anything. And also, multiple staff are kind of just jumping in there. I've had a particularly bad problem recently where I've just kind of jumped in on multiple people's other tickets and answered the question for them, because it just saves time, and I feel quite bad. But at the same time, it's getting the player the response faster. So yes, naughty me. So we have tried to fix that for you guys, because we do know that it's frustrating. We do understand that. We're not just kind of behind a wall and we're just kind of like, oh, they're fine putting in this massive essay and we're just going to send a 1-letter response, and they're just going to be like, oh, well, I feel deflated. So we have heard the community's feedback. So we've heard the community's feedback. We want to help. So we've put it into a Discord so that you guys can have a faster response time. You can actually talk, and it feels a bit more personable. It's not just kind of like, you're talking to an automated message. And also, if there's other issues or anything, you can actually see if someone's online. You can ping them, and you can there's other kind of options there that we can kind of utilize. So Grizz, you don't even have a ticket in. What are you talking about? You have no ticket in. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, there's ways that we can kind of deal with that. I've literally been going through these bloody tickets. You have one on the website, and it is literally being answered. Anyway, so we are addressing these things.
Yeah.
Sorry, more points?
I've got a few other things. Mainly crew to org.
Yeah.
It'd be better. This is my opinion. I'm not saying change it or anything, but I've seen it in other servers where the rules are stricter for breaking rules, and rule 4 and exploiting, cheating, VDM, RDM, all that stuff. Where it pretty much disbands people, but where from crew to org it's a lot faster, if you know what I mean. Where it's crew, you can be in an org in maybe 2 to 3 months. That's just a random time period, but make it quicker, because at the moment I feel when I was in a crew it was way too long. I just felt like we were doing the same shit every day.
It's definitely changed now. Crews wait about a month.
Oh that seems
Yeah, and
better.
then they go up if they're well behaved, basically.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
includes
yeah.
things
That
like
makes
staff
sense. Yeah.
actions and et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah.
yeah, they don't wait too long.
But I'll like to even help the economy, even though, in my opinion, the economy is not really that bad. You can kind of consider fines for orgs and that, or orgs families and crews. Pretty much just they break a rule, you get fined, or you can even just get disbanded. Obviously, it's still got that what is it there, strikes or whatever. But it just seems like when a lot of orgs are close to disbanding, they don't really care, if you know what I mean. Where they just pretty much, well, I've seen it a few times now where orgs or whatever have just gone ham and shot people and ruined people's days. And we want to I want to see if you can change that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we definitely can. I think orgs we definitely need to be a lot stricter with, but I think
Mm.
that also runs into other parts of the server that antagonize people and, do all sorts of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So families, crews, police, orgs. I think we definitely need to be a little bit more onto that, punishing orgs in that sense.
Yeah. And even with like police, I like to role play, but it's so hard with the constant just getting pulled up, like especially when you know selling drugs or robbing houses, boosting cows. Every time I do it, pretty much it's like an instant cop. They're like pretty much just handcuffing me and sending me to the pen. You know, it's very frustrating, especially when they're just like I understand they need to be, um, doing their jobs, but like
There's definitely
there's
like a lack of role play from both
yeah,
parties.
yeah, yeah,
Not from
yeah,
everyone, of course, but there are
yeah,
people
yeah,
from police and orgs who obviously aren't there for the role play, or they just want to arrest people, or the
yeah.
org just wants to
Pretty
shoot
much
the
feeling.
cop. And
Yeah,
they
yeah,
both ruin each other's, and then what happens is that mentality goes on. They go to arrest the next person because their mentality is still stuck in the bad experience they had with the person before. And it just
yeah,
chain goes, and the same goes with an org member. They shoot one cop, and then they have a really bad experience with a cop who arrests them. So now they go, well, I don't want to do that again, so I'm just going to shoot every cop I see. So we're in like a
yeah.
little weird part where both parties really have to become a little bit more RP based for them both to improve. Because if you
Mm.
say to the orgs, all right, we're going to start banning you every time you shoot a cop over code 4, every time a cop does it, it's just going to be rinse, repeat the same thing. So we sort of need both
Mhm.
people, both groups to up their standards of role play 100%.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's really it. I can't remember anything else.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for your time, and
Oh, cheers.
yeah, I'm hoping that that helps.
Yeah, no,
And
appreciate
it
it.
clarifies a few things for you.
Thanks for hearing me out.
No worries at all. All right. Well, we'll chuck you back down to the little audience and have a good day. Yes, for anyone who has that's my dog. Dustin, you're up next.
Hello.
Welcome.
So this might be a bit of a controversial thing for the people who play the server like religiously still. People in DMs bring up that the server is slowly dying, which I do understand the server has been going for I think nearly 9 years now. But
Yeah.
I just want to get your your three opinions from it, with one being a dev and two being admins. Like I just want to get your views on how the server's standing and like what the plans are for the future of combating is switching to much newer servers and how yeah.
Well, we've literally all the stuff that we are adding and currently improving. This whole situation we're currently doing now is to combat that. The implementation of the new scripts, updating legacy stuff, server performance, back-end issues that I've been working on for about half of 2 years now to get it to a stage where it is now. Plus the staff movement and the continuation and consistency of upgrading and what's the other thing? Getting data so we can make sure we can see where the server's at that time, and then we shouldn't have done this thing. We could see a drop here and learn from that. So pretty much everything that we're doing right now is in the stage of preventing. Well, not preventing. People can play other servers, but love them only to play ours. But getting more people to come to the server.
Yeah, so I think to kind of further on MJP's very valid point is this is the point. We are trying to like go through everyone's feedback and everything to help improve it, and it actually has already improved. So since we initially held that one last week, we immediately saw and put the initial improvements in place to start with on that journey of trying to increase and improve the like the community relations again, and that bring back that that positive sort of culture. We have already seen an increase. So, like, we are going to continue on that pathway of trying to continually go and improve and hear out the community and increase in those areas that they're specifically telling us about, as that attempt of going, okay, we've heard the community, they specifically want these things looked at, these are reasonable, all those sort of things. It's as a team, like, and we want to also thank you guys for attending these town hall meetings so that we can actually go, hey, like, what questions do you have for us? What specific areas we may have missed? Like, tell us, because we're human. We can't see everything. We don't know everything. We're not these omnipotent. We're not freaking gods or
We're
anything.
gods.
We
Oh
are
my
just yeah, we're just people at the end of the day. We're trying our best, but at the same time, we're not perfect. We want you to tell us. We want you to be like, hey, this is really important to us. Feels like you guys have missed it. And it's like, oh crap, okay, like, thank you for telling us, sort of thing, and try to improve that that relation again, because yeah, as I said, we're not perfect. We don't claim to be or anything like that. So let's we've already been working together on making that more of a an active decision making process and all those sort of things. We're trying very, very hard to bring apart the change that people want to see. So yeah, we've already seen an improvement so far, and we want to continue to see that. We want to be back at that gold standard of where people go to play.
Yep. All right. That's all I have to bring up today, and I'm happy to pass the baton on to the next person that wants to speak.
Well, thank you very much for your time and for your valuable feedback.
Oh, good. I'm happy to head back down to the audience.
Okay. All right. Have a good night. All right. Ronnie Decker, Fuzz.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Fuzz the good.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring up one thing about orgs. I just feel whenever like, let's say if I traffic stop an org member for, let's say, a license check or something, it just escalates like really high, and it kind of just like ruins the vibe, I guess. Like, usually most pursuits will turn out into a shootout that's not really needed, or things like that. And I feel like I'm speaking on behalf of most of police here. We feel that, like, again, it's not like half of the shootouts that happen because of pursuits aren't, like, I would say, valid. Due to the reason of the the pursuit being the traffic stop being initiated. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely understandable. I think Arabella raised a very good point about this just before, is that both sides have bad apples in their bunch, and it doesn't necessarily mean that that all police or all orgs kind of fall into that category. A lot of people you can still kind of have that RP with, but it's unfortunate when you have that bad experience, and I know that it kind of sours the experience for a little bit. So as we've said, it's something that we want to address with both groups, because obviously you can't kind of expect change from one and not the other, because it's a negative feedback system. So, the police may have some bad experiences with the orgs, and then they might then behave differently when they come into a traffic stop, and then that org member is then holding that negative experience with those cops against the next cop that they deal with, and then you're having to suffer because of it. It's one of those things that it's just kind of unfortunate, like, one side will have a bad experience and then it passes on to the next person and sort of thing. So we do kind of need to work on both, because there are like people within a group that, like, from an outside perspective, the community then kind of feels negatively towards that entire group because of it, because they go like, oh, all of the cops do this, or all of the org members do this, where it's realistically like individuals within the group that are giving the group a bad name. So it's something that we can work on, like, with the actual group leaders and stuff like that themselves, because we do need to kind of change the culture within a group if that's the case. But it's not an entire group. Like, not all org members are bad. You will have some good, like, interactions with org members, and it's also having that open kind of like perspective when you go up to any form of code 4. Like, even I've had to like be like just kind of yelling after someone who drives away from me. The second I go to a code 4, you get out of the car, you start walking towards their car, and then there's like dart off, and you're just like, come back, I just wanted to role play. Like, you don't yell that, but you're just like, it's just,
Yeah, no, 100%.
it does happen, or it's just like, we were just trying to talk to you, like, we weren't even going to charge you or anything. Or then from a crim side, you have someone who gets very, very serious, or you see all of the cert cards all pull up in a group or something, because you're just kind of like, this was unnecessary and I feel threatened. So it's both sides, and it's something that we want to address. It's not the entire group. And it's one of those things that if you also punish all of the W cops, like, you see in the chat, what about the orgs? So, it's one of those things that it's both sides. It is not just the cops, it's not just the crims, it is both sides. There are individuals and groups that need to pull their socks up. So it's one of those things that we do need to kind of address as a group, but at the same time, it's the individuals within the group that are actually letting them down. So I know people don't like reporting either, but at the same time, we can only
Like,
do our
for
best.
example, if you pulled someone over and you were the only cop there and they killed you, they would get carded or banned or whatever they're up to.
Yeah, well, the thing is with that, I feel like for example, if it's like midnight or like,
Mhm.
pretty late, and you're just pulling someone like an org member over or a crew member, you pull them over, and then there's a few other GD, like let's say 2 or 3 other GD on duty, and I don't know, they don't like the way that you pulled them over, and then they just get out and shoot you, and then they just PD wipe just because of that interaction.
That sort of stuff should definitely get reported, because that isn't on. I do know that orgs get frustrated when they get pulled over and then 10 cert cars arrive. You sort of, I know as a crim that's happened to me, and you just sort of go, this probably isn't going to be a thing. This is just like you know what I mean? Like, I'm one person in a car and there's like 15 of them at a code 4. What's happening? But if it's one-on-one and you're talking to them, or there's like 2 of you, they shouldn't be shooting you. And if you report that, we'll definitely be cracking down on that, because we sort of want to encourage the role play. A $200 fine isn't going to break the bank, and they shouldn't be doing that at all.
All right. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you, guys.
No worries. Well, thank you for your time.
No, you're
Appreciate
good.
the
Have a good night.
feedback. You
Up to
too.
60 out.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Man of the people.
Oh, good evening, folks. Thanks for the time. How are we all?
Good evening.
Good, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Briefly returning to the points by Zenish, if that's how you pronounce his name. It was, I believe he was sort of getting to the fact of an identity for the city and the people, and where are we going into the future. It was raised by what's his name?
Zanish.
Yes, but also our lovely ex-Centrelink staff member, Dustin.
Justin.
In terms of where we're going to the future, I tried to, in the town hall topics, create an idea where players could potentially help other players on this journey, so it's not just a staff endeavour. In terms of building forward this idea that we need to improve our peace standards. It's been said a lot tonight, and I think anyone in this town hall is probably in agreement. But for the people that aren't in this town hall, which they don't get to listen to our wonderful conversations, ladies' dulcet tones, etc.
Yeah.
How can we together, whether it's at a staff level or a individual level, actually assist in getting to where we want to see?
I think a lot of that is like showcasing what you want to see in the server yourself, right? Like if you have someone new who comes into role, like they're in a Danny outfit, giving them like a good, fun experience, it sort of like changes how they are. I remember when I first started in Bluebird, like I had the funniest time and I just thought, oh my God, this is like good, right? Like I'm spending my spare time having a laugh, enjoying myself. Being, I don't want to be around people who are toxic, who are just rude to people. That's my main thing, is like giving good experiences to others to hopefully in return get that back.
For sure, I totally agree. I would
yeah.
just say that everyone in this town hall is probably already doing that. Like if
Most
you look at
people
those
are.
names, there's really standout people here. It's more so my question towards the other 42,000 people that might
That
be in
aren't
the
doing that.
emails. That's right.
To be honest, cracking down on them being toxic and creating a better environment is probably the starting point, right? Where, cops aren't getting abused on the ground, where cops aren't, abusing crims, we don't have that sort of thing, because trying to change people is like one of the hardest people. You don't want to change them. You want everyone to enjoy their own role play, whether they like shooting, whether they like role playing, whether they like doing police
Yeah,
or AV.
100%.
Whatever they want to do, that's fine on us. But people should be doing it with the right idea that they want to create fun for everyone, not just themselves, which is sometimes a hard thing to comprehend. And I think it's about getting the other 40,000 people to actually get on board with that as well, isn't it? Because that's the hardest part, right?
Yeah, I love what Lady said before about making, and apologies if I'm getting this wrong, but I think was it making Bluebird the back to the gold standard or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Because that's like where I joined, is that like at the time, Bluebird, this is back in 2021, Bluebird was the gold standard. It was the top of the like Australian, New Zealand, like, the OCE based servers. It was number one. And, obviously other servers have opened up over time. Player bases have kind of had to split a little bit and like numbers have been spread around. But I do believe that we still have the capabilities of getting back to that top position. Like we have an incredible community and we would be nothing without the people that we have here. So we should be, supporting each other as much as we possibly can, and in creating a welcoming environment for people to join and come into and have this home here with like everyone has felt.
Beautiful. That's probably it from me. Very appreciative, and just love to see more of this phrase of, I guess, being the gold standard, bringing true, whether it's in your town hall topics, whether it's in your discussions with, in city, or your interactions with a person that you may have or may not have met before. I think it's can bring a lot of good to framing our interactions for the future.
Lovely.
Definitely agree.
I very much appreciate it. Awesome. All right.
Cheers,
Well,
guys.
thank you very much for your time and for everything you've been doing for the community as well. Very appreciative.
No worries.
All right, we'll put you down. Thank you. All right. Next one is Bragi. Everyone, just for remember that we, oh well, Bragi, I've already clicked the button. You can't tell me that now.
Oh,
Bragi
fine.
started the town hall meet early, and
Yeah, you're
before
welcome.
we were ready. Yeah.
And we've
So
still gone
his
over
perms
time.
have now been revoked.
It's crazy.
Anyway. All right.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
First of all, thank you for hosting. It was very fun listening to while getting shot at by everyone. That was very fun. I just want to thank everyone for just the positive feedback towards the dev team. I'm only new to it, but it's very wholesome and encouraging to keep going, doing what we do, with so much, positive feedback. So, yeah, just a quick thank you from me.
Lovely. All right.
I think they
thank you very
appreciate
much,
it.
Bragi.
Also, bring back the old MRC. Bye.
Yes. Man of the
Wouldn't
people.
ban you.
All right, we are going to wrap this up very, very shortly. So we're just taking these last two, so no more past that point. We will be having the survey ongoing. Don't stress. No T4. I just said two. All right. Hello. How are you?
Good. Hello, for those who don't know, I am Jack, the owner of TBT, and also Luke Cop. Some feedback I have, is it possible to, with car parts, to also maybe integrate it with, like, for example, the mechanic jobs, slow life and all that stuff, so they can purchase car parts, use them to, like, repair cars and stuff, and also maybe have that stuff as, like, a skill based test stuff, to maybe, if you, for example, like, get all the skill points right. For example, your E muscle, like E keyboard, where it depends on repairing the car and stuff like that.
PP, you're probably MJP, you're probably the one that is best to sorry, that's his
So-
nickname, everyone. Like you're probably best to give a response on this. Everyone is saying his name is PP.
Because the reason I
Um,
asked this, sorry, is that most
No, you're good.
mechanic jobs, pretty much all us doing repairs is like walking up to a vehicle, F6 repair. It's kind of just the same old with repairs, and honestly, not many people are role playing to repair a vehicle.
Do you want
That's
to?
perfectly understandable.
I think I kind of understand what you're saying. You wanted something that's gonna force people to do animations that make it look like they're actually doing the repair.
Yeah,
So
and
they
like
pull
have
out a tire, they walk to the car, they take a tire off, and they put the new one on. If they're gonna blow a tire, stuff like that.
yeah, stuff like that.
I believe we have something like that in the works.
I
At what
believe so.
stage it is at, I'm not 100% sure, but I will follow it up. I remember seeing someone had it somewhere. I might have to ask the big old Dave when he comes back from holiday. He
On
might be able
Monday.
to remind me. Yes, I'm so excited.
It's locked into my calendar.
Goddamn.
So Jack as well, like thank you for writing up the like tutorial thing for TBT for the new players. Everyone, when we mentioned that earlier, keep in mind as well, like companies like TBT, it's really, really important that we're directing new players to try them as a company, and hopefully this tutorial-based system to teach them how to do it will be that initial start into those sort of civilian-based jobs. It's a really versatile job. It gets them out there meeting people a lot, so it's a really, really beneficial thing for them to be directed towards. Like I started in TBT originally, back when I first started on the server, like 4 bloody years ago. So it's one of those things that we do want to keep the focus on and everything like that. So please, if you see little new people around, they do need the 25 hours in city, but at the same time, that's a really, really important plug that we should be doing for them. We should be pushing towards, the social businesses in places like TBT and all those sort of things. But yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, that's all I got to say.
No, that's okay. And thank you for the suggestion around the adding in that more kind of interactive chop and reverse, I think was described as. So that'll be very helpful. Thank you. Yeah, the last one I think is, I think I saw you put your hand up when we said Orson, the man of the people, and then your hand immediately went up. So, wait, did he? He's not. He's not coming up to stage. There he is.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
Lex?
Just a couple questions. One,
Mhm.
I think a lot of people in orgs and stuff have wanted to. It's been brought up in a few different town halls and whatnot, and but with people getting banned for cheating, I think people want to see a more, I guess, aggressive punishment for it. A couple of things have been suggested is like character wipes and stuff, because it's people at the moment. People are cheating, copying their 6-month ban, and then coming back and doing it all again, or they offload all their shit to someone else. And it's just going round and round in circles with like the same groups of people.
No one I've banned for cheating has come back. Unless it's a
Uh,
legacy
As
thing. Look, whoop, a
to
while
what
ago we
Staffy
did
said
have.
in the chat.
What does Staffy say?
Where'd it go?
There you go.
A while ago we did have a. I wouldn't say an influx of bans that were potentially false bans. We couldn't guarantee that they were correct, which a lot of those people that probably were cheating, but we couldn't guarantee that they were, unfortunately got unbanned and obviously are now getting banned again. The second time around, they are getting the perm bans because it wasn't the system that was getting used before. But
Yeah, 100%.
I
I'm
do
only
agree.
suggesting
Yeah.
that as a like, you got like 100% confirmation kind of thing. Like
we
people
like to be
getting false
100%
bans and
sure,
stuff.
or as much as we can.
Yeah, I don't want people that are getting false banned to start again from scratch because of a glitch in a program that wigs out or something.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing. Also, just addressing Sabine's comment in the chat real quick. We did actually address that already. We are looking at a new AC. It needs to be tested fully before we release it. And also, by the way, everyone, this
Heavily.
entire meeting has been recorded as well as transcribed. So if you have missed something, you can go back. You haven't missed out. But yes, so people that do like duping, for example, they get a wipe, like full character wipe.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know duping, and
so-
we all saw that with
Yeah.
anarchists and a lot of people and yada yada.
yeah, so I guess the hard part that we have is that some people will ask for us to be more severe and to do like a full character wipe or whatever. But then those people sometimes have friends who also have like go, oh, I vouch for this person, there's no way in hell they were cheating or whatever. No, we should change the system. And then they get enough people behind them, and then all of a sudden there's a town hall meeting, and then they want to change the system again, and they want to go back to, why are we being so severe? We should do a ban wipe. You should bring back vouchers, blah, blah, blah. And that counteracts what we're literally trying to do by removing these people from the community and doing what you've told us to do. And then you tell us to do the opposite. So it's one of those things we're trying to find the balance. And if you ask us to go too far one way, but then someone's friend gets in that situation, then all of a sudden it gets asked to go back the other way. So and this is where the vouching conversation keeps coming up, because people keep getting
Let's-
convinced that their friend is not cheating.
Please never bring back vouching. That is the most.
We're not bringing back
biased.
vouching.
Yeah.
Exactly. It is a biased system, and it doesn't actually take into consideration if the person is actually innocent or not. It's just a case of, that person just happens to have friends. That's it. That's the only reason. Like, that's the entire like basis of a voucher, and it just doesn't work. It's not something that we're looking to bring back at all. So like, yes, sometimes people want to go the more severe way. we're open to it. We have nothing against that option. It's just that the community often then gives us the feedback and does not want that. And will, go back again the other way and be like, oh, but we need the players. Why are you banning everyone? It's like, well, then they shouldn't be doing the wrong thing. So it's a difficult balance that we're trying to find. And we're trying to make sure that it's fair and, consistent, and that we're not unnecessarily or false banning people and then they're having their entire account deleted or anything like that. So it's a difficult balance. So look, we're open to hearing suggestions, and we're wanting to take as much feedback as possible on that. But like, as we've also mentioned, we are looking at bringing in new AC, but we also want to make sure it's at least not going to give us false bans first. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah. Sorry.
My other question was, moving forward with orgs and families and crews and whatever, there's been, well, I think a lot of other people could attest to this as well, that there's been a lot of forced hostile RP between orgs just because people are bored, and everyone's kind of getting real tired of it. Like, for example, we want your spray, and you go, whatever, take it. And then because you don't go out and fight, you then get decked on for 4 days of conflict because you didn't go out and fight for a spray. Like,
I don't think that can happen anymore, can it?
well,
I don't think sprays could lead to conflict.
I don't know if that can happen now, but up until
No, it can't.
Yeah, up until
That rule was
last time I was home, it was a thing that happened to about 4 different families in orgs.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we took on some of that feedback and we went, okay, well, we've changed the rule around it. I think it was announced with the orgs and the families and crews and stuff to try to prevent that exact thing, because we did kind of hear that there was a lot of feedback around that there was decking for no reason over things. So I think Arabella did a review of that and has already provided that feedback. I'll see if I can find the exact date for you, but
yeah, the more so the crux of this one is more so like just bringing back like more, I guess, like having a reason to fight over something other than just I offered you $1 or $150 for whatever, and you said no, or just bringing back that like having the story behind RP opposed to just I'm bored, I'm gonna go shit talk this person, and then we're gonna go to war in 2 weeks' time or whatever.
There definitely hasn't been any wars approved for
Yeah,
anything that was
not so much the wars.
not
It's
work.
just
No, I do
There's
see where
not-
you're coming from, though. Like the reason behind it is very limited, and like that is some very valuable
I-
feedback.
that- that's
we
not
should be
just
avoiding.
Crim v Crim either. That's also goes for like Crim v Cop, which is it's a whole nother fucking kettle of fish.
It's a whole other kettle of fish.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. Also, just
Yeah.
found the date. So on the 5th of September, based on the spray changes after some conversations in the town hall and org discussion between staff and the org leaders, please see the slide 16 of the handbook and the TLDR below. And then there was released that, and I believe it was also handed into the family Discord as well.
And people can't offer like $1. There's like been minimum prices put in and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But I do see where you're coming from. So that is, very reasonable. 5th of December is also posted to the family announcement Discord as well. But it is something that we hear you, and the previous lack of effort that people have been, is putting in and just kind of going, oh, well, we're big and strong, so just give us the thing for $1. Or, hey, I want that, but, the other person's like, meh, F it, here's $1, you can have it. It should be RP based and everything like that. So, we do hear you when it comes to that. Did you have any other points for us?
No, that's about it for me.
That's okay. If you have any more points later on, just let us know. But
Sure.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Awesome. All right. All right. That kind of comes to the end of our meeting today, guys. We've actually made it just under the 2-hour, 30-minute mark. I'm very, very proud of us. I actually managed to stay on top of it. And, so we'll be looking to do another one of these potentially, I think, 3 months. So that's what? September, October, November, December. Ooh.
Maybe at the
Potentially
start.
early December.
Maybe
We'll try for early December. But please use the ongoing feedback form. It is in the announcements channel. We'll pin it as well, and we'll do a TLDR. We'll have the audio version if someone's quality is pretty good, as well as the transcribed maybe AI version written down as well, so that it's accessible across everyone's basis for those who couldn't attend today. So that so we'll hopefully be covered with that sort of stuff, so everyone can be a part of it. Please continue using the town hall threads for constructive feedback and suggestions and all those sort of fun things. But I suppose on a side note, please be kinder to everyone in those town halls. We've seen some pretty poor behavior towards each other recently. Remember, people are actual people behind that screen, and yes, it's fine to be like, oh, it's just a game, it's not that deep. Their feelings, they're still people. Don't be a dick, because everyone's going to look at you and they're going to and also I want to address, it is not just one person. I am not singularly blaming a single person where everyone kind of pointed at a single person and they all pointed fingers and they were just like, yeah, that guy should stop being a dick. It wasn't just him. There was so many of you, and it was very,
Paradigm.
very disappointing to see. So
everyone blame Paradigm.
no, we're not blaming Paradigm. So moving forward, we as a community are going to do better. We are not going to be doing this whole snide comment, minor bullying at each other thing. We're going to do better. And moving forward, Jesus Christ, everyone's blaming Paradigm now. Please just remember that, everyone, anger comes with this whole someone that was once passionate and is currently frustrated. If someone is being hostile in a way of discussion or anything like that, it's probably because they're just trying to get their point across and they're not feeling heard. Try to have some empathy around what that person might be feeling, and don't just dismiss them, because that's not a nice feeling. Just try to go okay, I see where you're coming from, but this is where I'm coming from, and this is my point. But just at the same time, just stop attacking each other, guys. We don't need that. You guys are all adults, in whatever way you consider an adult to be or whatever. But we need to be pulling together as a community and stop the infighting of snarky comments and stuff. That is just, we don't need it. We don't need to be like that. We can use our words. So yeah. Proud of you guys for coming and being part of this, this discussion. But let's move together in this journey forward. All right, we will post the meeting notes and all those sort of things afterwards. And thank you for attending. We appreciate you. Go team. All right, how do we end this? End stage for everyone.
Next question.
Goodbye.